Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well and give you something to think about and talk about. And we have a card from a deck that we haven't seen in quite some time. So now we'll see if it continues to pop up. They seem to go on streaks like that. So we shall see. But I hope you're off to a good start to your day. The birds were singing at 4:30 this morning. That was Robin. That was quite happy with and pleased with himself today. So it's actually a nice way to start the day. So very windy here today as well. So hold on to your butts. Let's see what blows in and blows out. So we'll start with tapping, as always. I'm sure practical rebels will begin popping on as one or more of you join, then others tend to find that I'm live again. Anyway, so let's start with some tapping, and we'll add in some breath. Nice, deep, slow belly breaths today. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just cueing your whole body to slow down, take a pause. In through the nose, out through the mouth, allowing your shoulders to drop, everything to relax. Breathing in, breathing out. Just feeling into your body, embodying your body. Be present fully for your body. Breathe in, breathe out. And one more time, and let's hold at the top. Breathing in, hold at the top, breathing out. Good morning, Barb. Welcome. Glad you're here. You're the first practical rebel to find me today. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So we'll give everybody time to catch up, but I want to show you that we have the Power of Surrender deck today by Dr. Judith Orloff, and it says, transform your life by letting go. We really do free ourselves up when we let go of the belief that we have to be able to control everything and have the specific outcomes we're looking for. When we step more into curiosity, good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Glad you're here. And allow for the flow. Just be in the flow. I wonder where this is taking me. Nice try. I was early this morning. Yes. So glad you're here. Welcome, Jonelle. So Janelle and I did another blog or podcast yesterday. Good morning, Abigail. Welcome. Thank you for the butterflies. And so once Morgan catches up a little bit with the videos, we should have 3 more common ground conversations to post for all of you, which would be wonderful. So, but again, for those of you who just popped on, Power of Surrender deck by Judith Orloff, transforming your life by letting go. And again, I think a key portal, emotional portal for getting there can be curiosity. When we step into curiosity and go, I wonder how this is going to flow. I wonder how this is going to turn out. I wonder where this is taking me. That's incredibly helpful to the process. Okay. When we're like, oh, I hope it turns out this way, we're influencing things in a way that tends to slow down the process. So this one, I think, will chime for quite a few of us. Surrender the habit of people-pleasing. Surrender the habit of people-pleasing. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you are here. Welcome. So one of the things that I will say about people-pleasing is it can be so subtle that we don't even realize we're doing it. So, and sometimes those around us will realize it and call us out, and sometimes they won't. So the better we get at recognizing the subtleties of people-pleasing, the better off we're going to be. And that doesn't mean that we don't do things that make people's day, but it means we take a look at, and what is the cost to me of doing this? So I'll give you an example. Oftentimes, good morning, Carolyn, glad you are here. Cataract surgery tomorrow, absolutely. So let's give Carolyn some positive energy for her cataract surgery. Sending some good juju. What I love about cataract surgery is how immediate the results are. I've had both of my eyes done. There apparently are multiple kinds of cataracts, the ones that get triggered by being in the sun too much without protection, but also a more genetically based kind, which tends to come on earlier, which was the kind that I had. And yeah, so he did them, and I opened my eyes and went, wow, that's what that color looks like, because you erode so subtly, you don't even really realize it. And then all of a sudden you can see lovely again, and it's pretty awesome. So have an awesome surgery, have excellent results, enjoy your view of the world, Carolyn. All right. So back to people pleasing. One of the places I have seen it show up in the course of doing psychotherapy more than coaching, but showing up nonetheless, are women who have handed over for a long time their power to their partner. Where would you like to go to eat? I don't know. What are you hungry for? Well, should we go here first or here first? I don't know. What do you think? Good morning, Beth. Glad you are here. And it's just this subtle erosion to the point that when the rubber hits the road, their spouse dies, they get a divorce, whatever it is, there they are. I have no idea what I think about anything, how I feel about anything, what I like, what I dislike. And so we go into experiment mode. Pick a place. Good morning, Lynn. Glad you're here. Welcome. Nice to see you. Pick a place. So when someone says to you, where would you like to go to eat? Even if you don't really care, pick a place. Practice making that decision. And then go and eat. See what you think. Well, that wasn't very good. Let's not do this place again. And don't feel bad, like, oh, then they had a terrible meal because I picked bad. It happens. It happens. Sometimes our favorite restaurant has an off night. We may be there on that night. It's not our fault. It's not our responsibility. We're merely practicing picking. Okay, where would you like to go this weekend? Well, I think I'd like to stay home and do some gardening. Or I think I'd like to just go for a drive. Or I think I'd like to go hiking at X state park. Whatever it is, pick something, make a decision, practice being decisive. Because sometimes, unfortunately, there will come that point where the person that you've acquiesced to, that you've allowed to make all the decisions, isn't there anymore. So surrender the habit of people pleasing. Now I'll read the bottom of it. Now that we're 8 minutes in, let me read the card. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. And again, it's not a black or white thing. I'm either selfish, there's that word again, and taking care of everything that I need, or I'm pleasing other people. No, no, no. There's a balance. And at different points in our lives, we may be in that place of, I need to reserve a little more energy for myself here. I need to be tending to my own needs more often here. And maybe that means a little withdrawing of energy from what you do for others. So be it. So be it. And will there be people who sometimes get their nose out of joint about that? Absolutely. But my vote is, let's go back to the first sentence here. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Speak up and say so. So I'm going to make one up here. If you always take the lady next door to church every week, and on this particular week, you're sick, so you're not going, be honest with her. Call her as soon as you can and say, hey, I am sick. I don't want to get you sick. I don't want to get anybody else at church sick, so I'm not going this week. Be honest. Put it out there. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Again, that can coexist with be of service to others. They are not mutually exclusive. Taking care of yourself, in fact, is a good way to model being of service. You're being of service to yourself. All of us can probably do a much better job of being of service to ourselves, right? Right. So surrender the habit of people pleasing. And again, one of the things that I think we need practice on is picking up on the subtleties of that. When are we very subtly selling ourselves out to keep the peace, please other people, do what we think is right, etc., etc. Go into curiosity mode. Oh, I wonder where I'm doing that. Be the observer. Are there certain people that you tend to get pulled into caretaking with to the detriment of yourself? To the detriment of yourself. Then figure out what are some ways to subtly tweak this. It might be drawing in some other people who can also be of assistance, so it's not all falling on you. It might be taking a break from it for a while. Maybe you've done a particular volunteer thing forever. Maybe it's time to take a hiatus from that one for even a short period of time, a week, a month, whatever, a quarter. Let some other people step up and do more. Invite some other people to step up and do more. I'm getting a little burned out here, so I'm going to step back from this committee and this committee and this committee. And who would like to step up? Then you close your mouth and you wait. Because I saw it happen again last night on a meeting where the person who was leading that particular part of the meeting needed something done. And instead of putting it out there, okay, we need this done, who can volunteer? The next thing out of her mouth was, and if nobody else can do it, I can do it. Her plate is so full, it's about to crack in half. And I was like, oh, I've suggested to her using the idea that you put the statement out there, who can help with this? Close your mouth and start counting in your head. Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3. See how far you have to count before someone volunteers, oftentimes begrudgingly. But again, we've taught people how to do that because we're willing to jump in and take on all this stuff. Pick a time, pick a place, pick an opportunity where you just sit there and smile and count in your head and see who else finally steps up. Most churches will tell you that they have a handful of folks that run the whole joint. There's this huge congregation, or maybe it's a dwindling congregation these days, but there's far more people involved that aren't involved. And this handful of folks are the ones that do pretty much everything. So time to adjust that, and time to not be the Uber volunteer who is always stepping up to do this stuff, right? Because also think in terms of longevity. When someone comes into an organization and they're the one, how long does it take before they burn out? Or before the quality of what they're doing declines? Or where you can hear the hidden hostility in their voice because they're doing everything and no one else is doing anything, right? So it behooves us, longevity-wise, to moderate how much stuff we're doing like that. Pick and choose. Pick and choose. The one that I always think of is I tend to pick one or two charities that are my go-tos. They're important to me. I take care of them. My mother was $5 to 8,000 charities, $5 each, and trying to help her understand, first of all, what a waste of postage, but second of all, $5 isn't going to serve that particular thing much. Pick out, if you want to do 5, pick out your 5 favorites and boost the amount that you're offering them, or boost the frequency with which you're offering them. It does a whole lot more that way. Does a whole lot more. So let me read our card again. Take a nice deep breath. Let it go. Surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. or at least prioritize your own happiness, and then do what you can for others. Take good care of you. Take good care of you. Have an awesome Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Have a great day. Bye-bye.